You all seem to like it when I do EDH pickup videos, so that's what I'm doing. I also got a bunch of deck updates to show you. I've updated about 7 of my decks. I'm going to show you some new cards that I've added, and I'll give you an explanation as to why. Usually I just show you the cards. I really don't explain why I put them in. I think this time I'll give a little slight explanation as to my mindset as to why I add certain cards to decks and take them out. And you know, that fun theoretical deck builder schmutz. But first, it's time for pickups, and I got myself 2 Uros for no particular reason. I already have one in the deck that I wanted it in. Yet I decided to be that guy and go ahead and pick up 2 more because they're expensive and I don't know. My luck, they'll drop. I also got a Pelucranos. He's cool. I bought 3 packs at my locals when I went to play Commander on Sunday, and I actually ended up pulling this guy off camera. I know, bad at him. Heliod Suncrown. This is my second Heliod. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. Don't know if I'm going to keep him, but he's cool. 2 lands. Got myself a Reliquary Tower and a Desmine Stage. Just some lands I pick up just because I was missing Reliquary Towers, and Desmine Stage is a good card. 1 green card. I know. I'm starting to pick up less green cards. I already have boxes full of green cards. God knows I can't pick up more, but it's a Den Protector. Just a really good Megamorph card. Naru Maha Mihi Mi Mohei, I don't know. I picked her up to alter her into something. I also got a Vesuvian Shapeshifter from the Commander decks. Picked up a Supreme Verdict. It went up for some reason. Not really sure. It's about 15 bucks, so, you know, got that. As well as the Dovescape, because it's a funny card. And then a Deadbridge Chant, because, again, it's a funny Commander card. I picked up more red stuff, specifically a Thundermaw Hellkite and a Zealous Conscripts. I know I pick up a lot of Zealous Conscripts. I like altering them, and this one's kind of knackered up. But Thundermaw Hellkite is for a deck I'm kind of brewing in my head, just in case I build it. Some black cards, got Puppeteer Click, Extinguish All Hope, really cool rat spell that I rarely see played. I think it'll be very useful in certain decks. Doomwake Giant, again, just a really good card that I think should see a lot of play. Gravebreaker Lamia, I ended up pulling this. This is actually one of my favorite cards from Theros, just a really, really good Entomb effect. I also pulled him, Erebos Bleed card. I bought 3 packs of Theros. I pulled Gravebreaker, Erebos, and a Heliod, and I didn't put it on camera. I should have. I like these arts better than the what do you call them, constellations. I'm not a huge fan of the constellation art. They look really, really cool. Jason Engel did a fantastic job. I don't know. They look neat, but they also kind of look really, really dark, and not a fan. I'm a fan of this art, though. This is a really good art. The Thassa art's actually my favorite, but yeah, Erebos is a great card. Also got me a Mox Tantalite, an Altered Dementia, can never have too many sack outlets, and a Shadow Spear. This is my second Shadow Spear, I think. First or second. One I'm going to put in Derevi soon, and the other I'm probably just going to hold on to, because I think this card might go up. This is a really, really good card. Deck updates. Let's start with Crick. So I added, I think, 2 cards to Crick. Yep. I added a Minions Return. Minions Return is a fantastic uncommon. I'm really hoping this card gets more respect because it is a great card. Flash, enchant a creature, and when the creature dies, it comes back into play. It kind of helps with part of my combo. You could Flash, put it onto Gray Merchant, sack him, and then he comes right back, so you get a double effect for a Gray Merchant. Just a really, really good card. You can also enchant someone else's thing, and then you can gain control of it. So if you need kind of a steal effect, this is a really good card too. And Limb Duel, the Necromancer. Whenever a creature an opponent controls is put into a grave, you can pay 1 in the black. If you do, you basically get it, and then it becomes a zombie. So for Crick's ability, you could just pay 1 and then 2 life, and then boom, you got yourself a zombie. Plus, you can regen the zombie. Granted, he costs 7 mana, he's pretty expensive, but in Crick, you usually have access to Cabal Coffers and Urborg, so you're going to be getting a lot of black mana that you got to play around with anyway. Limb Duel is just a really, really cool card. Yoshi / Atla. I really haven't shown the Atla deck yet. I think I posted some photos on Twitter, but I have not done a deck tech on this video. I will soon, but I'm still working on it. So some cards I added to it recently, which honestly, I don't know why I'm showing you just these cards. I probably need to show you the whole deck, but I added Guardian Project, Changeling Titan, and then Kalfner's Urn. Guardian Project, just a really good green enchantment draw spell. Changeling Titan, it's an egg, and it automatically sacrifices itself when it comes into play. So you got a 5 cast drop, and then if Atlas on the field, you sack it, and then boom, you get a trigger off Atlas. So for 5 mana, boom, you get yourself a cracked egg. And Kalfner's Urn is just this card's really cool. I found it at GP or I don't think they call them GPs anymore. I found it Magic Fest in Meadowlands. Really neat, interesting card that I think we'll see a little bit of cool combo effects in this deck. Derevi! Yes, Derevi. Added 2 cards to this. One's just a land, just a cool land I got recently. When it comes into play, you sacrifice a non-layer, and then you have access to all 3 colors of mana. And it's really cool that it doesn't come in tapped, so that's neat. Someone's breaks really need to get fixed. And I also added Swords of Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, you're technically not allowed to run silver border cards. However, in some play groups, they allow it. If anyone ever does have a problem, I just usually replace it. I think I took out a Birds of Paradise for this, so I'll probably just swap it with a Birds or a land, whatever. But yeah, Swords of Dungeons, I just want to play. It's really not all that good. But I get to play 8 swords into Derevi instead of 7. Seal Team Sphinx, Mono Blue Sphinxes. Put some cards in here, starting with, there we go. Amiiboy Changeling, it's a Sphinx, and it's a very cheap Sphinx. So for 1 blue, you essentially got a Factor Fiction when you have Unesh on the field. Same thing goes with Shapeshare, except Shapeshare, you can make it a copy of something, which is very, very useful. Thassa's Intervention, a good card, a good counterspell too. I don't play a lot of counterspells, and I thought having one that's kind of modular would help the deck out. And then Nyx Lotus. Nyx Lotus is getting a lot of hype. It is a good card for monocolored decks, but you do need to remember it comes in tapped. So if you're putting it in a double color deck, might not work as effectively as you want. I'm not putting it in Niv Mizzet just because it's a little too slow for what I want Niv Mizzet to do. But it is good in monocolor decks. I also have one in Bears, as you'll see soon. Goalless Gates. There actually should be... Oh, I did take that. Yay. Goalless Gates. I put a Rift Sweeper in here. I've had a Rift Sweeper in here before. I took it out because it didn't do enough work. But recently, I've discovered I need a Rift Sweeper back in here just because Maze's End gets exiled too many times. I do have other win conditions in this deck now that are non-combat, so Happily Ever After, I think that's the name of the card. Evelyn Riches, I keep forgetting the name. And those often get exiled, so I do need a Rift Sweeper to kind of get them back just in case. And another Uro. Yeah, I have 3 Uros. This one's slightly miscut. This card's great. You put a land into play, you draw a card, you gain some life, it dies, and then you can cast them from the grave. It's very, very effective card. Lord Wangroose. Alright, so some cards we got in here. We got 2. Nyx Bloom Ancient. I put this in here. I recently got to play with Nyx Bloom Ancient. Wow. Wow. When you exsanguinate for 91 damage just because of Nyx Bloom Ancient. Oh. This card is good. And then Gravebreaker Lamia. See, I told you I really like this card. Yeah, it's Entomb. So you get something into your grave. Usually I get, I forget the name. I'm so bad today with remember the name. The red spell that when it has flashback and you can give all cards, all instant sorceries in your grave flashback. You're going to tell me the name in the comments. My brain is stupid today. And finally, Making Bears. Yep, like I said, got a Nyx Lotus. Put a Nyx Lotus in here. I made a mistake. I wanted to purchase 2 cards at the Magic Fest. That was Forest Bear and Bear Cub. As you can see, I didn't. I forgot to look for them. I don't think I saw Forest Bear at all anyway, but there might have been people who had one and I just didn't see it. But yeah, so the only card I've recently added to Bears is just Nyx Lotus, but I still love this deck a lot, and I'm going to continue to build it. It's just a fun deck. It's just a really, really fun deck. People do not realize how good Mono Green Bears actually is. This deck wins a lot more than it's supposed to. And that is it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any suggestions of cards that I should probably put in decks, or if you have any decks that you think I should build that should be fun, I don't know. My brain's dumb today, and I need help because brain work no good. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you later with more videos, but until then, Heliod's coming for Elspeth. Fuck you, Heliod.